You got a big fight, March 11th, Tony Harrison. Before I get to that, though, I want to know, take me back to January. You get the phone call. Jermell Charlo has fractured his left hand. The fight is postponed, could be off. What were your feelings?
I was devastated. I was devastated because I put so much into this camp, and yeah, it was the pinnacle of sport to fight for the undisputed championship, and yeah, I was just it is what it is. Um, yeah, I was really devastated.
And so generally, you would say, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to wait for this guy to heal. Maybe I'll just take a tune up because I have been in camp for so long, just something to stay active. But you go and choose Tony Harrison, former world champion, and the only man to have beaten Charlo. Tell us why.
Why not? Why not? You're in this sport for such a short period of time. I think you have to make make most of every opportunity and fight the very best. And I believe Tony Harrison is the toughest challenge in the super welterweight division right now, just before Charlo. So that's what I wanted. I wanted the big fights. Uh, Australia's going mad. They're going crazy here. It's if I bring up a tune-up fight, I'm disrespecting myself. I'm disrespecting the sport of boxing. Um, this is what it is. You gotta fight to your very potential.
How much of a risk is Tim Tszyu taking, not only taking on Harrison, but then doing it right there in your home country of Australia?
Oh look, there's risk to anything you do. In boxing, all it takes is one punch. But for me, it's a calculated risk because I know what I bring to the table, and I know what the improvements and the growth that I've made over the last year. I think Tony Harrison's the perfect dance partner for this stage in my career.
Love it. So we had Tony Harrison on the last stand as well. And we had to ask him, all right, so you're taking on Tim Tszyu. What do you think? And he said, quote, he's a very tough fighter, but he's so basic to me. There's nothing special about him. His defense is not stellar. His offense isn't stellar. He's got little arms. I don't see this guy beating me. End quote. What's your response to that?
I think when you're in the ring with me, it completely changes. What you see from the outside is a different perspective, but when you come on the inside, they're like, "Oh shit, man, this guy can actually, do some damage, and he's harder to hit, and his offense is better than expected." So for me, yeah, hopefully that brings him some confidence leading into this fight.
You guys obviously had a press conference there already in Australia. And at the press conference, Harrison basically intimated that, he's faced the tougher opposition. His road to getting to where he is has been a lot harder than yours. In fact, he said, quote, look at the rolls and the obstacles I had to jump over. Tim Tszyu took the elevator. I took the stairs. What was your response to that?
If you look at that in that comparison right now, of course he's got the better resume. He's fought the very best in the super welterweight division. But if you go into his first 20 fights, I don't see no spectacular names out there and former world champions. Let's just say that. I fought a former world champion. I fought the Tszyu, who, at that stage, he's up there as well. Few world title challenges. So I wouldn't say that my resume is that bad, but I'm glad that I've finally got this type of name, like a Tony Harrison, former world champ, the only man to beat Charlo, because that's the type of name that I need to gain the respect, I guess.
What do you think they're going to be saying about Tim Tszyu after this fight?
Monster, monster.
I like it. I like it. At the press conference, you said, quote, if it goes past 4, he's in trouble. I'm going to get him into the water and drown him. Tell us what you meant about that.
Yeah, in all honesty, right now I feel like a Terminator. I'm in this Terminator mode. So round by round, I'm just going to keep getting stronger, quicker, my stamina and my endurance. So we know Tony is good at the start. He's nice and sharp, but you know how 3 times in the later rounds, what happens? It goes tumbling down. So um, for me, I'm the opposite. Instead of tumbling, I go up.
It's interesting you said that because that's always been the rap with Tony is that towards those later rounds, either he loses focus, he gasses out, or what have you. And you believe that that's going to be the case in this fight?
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on the night what happens. But if you look at the record, 3 times it's happened before. 3 times. It's for me. It has nothing's happened to me. So I'm just here to make it the fourth.
Um, you said Harrison is, quote, fragile. And you said that you could crack him in half, but you also said he's probably more difficult opponent than Jermell Charlo. Explain that to us.
I think stylistically, Harrison is very, very good at what he does. Quick hands. He's got the simple punches, for example, the jab and the cross, very, very quick, and they always land on the target. And he's got spectacular timing. But I think if you watch his fight with Jarrett Hurd, I think stylistically he's a better fighter than Jarrett Hurd. But what did Jarrett Hurd do? He made it into a dogfight, and and he was able to just crack him in half, and it was a simple punch that got him, but you could see the decline from a couple of rounds before when Jarrett Hurd started picking it up.
How much do you think that Tszyu pressure will be the difference in this fight?
I don't specifically think the pressure. I think this fight will bring out a different type of fight in me. I think I got to use my brain and not just rely on pressure because I've got plenty of tools in the bank. I just gotta use them to my advantage. And sometimes I get into this Terminator mode where I just stuff it. I'm just gonna walk forward because these punches don't hurt. Got to be smart now.
I like it. And so you believe then a victory over Harrison, and is it then Charlo? And that's for the undisputed title. That would be next.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the fight that makes sense. And what a way to come out to a fight than beating the man who beat the man. So that's the goal.